Hello everyone, I'm D, and welcome back to 24 Frames. So, there's a Batman and Superman movie out right now.
You're not brave. Men are brave.
I did not care for it. At all. In any way. But, you know what? If you did, that's cool. You have your Man of Steel, Batman v Superman. I have Superman versus the Elite. Superman vs. the Elite is based on Action Comics number 775, What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, and the American Way, released by DC Comics in 2001. In it, Superman comes into conflict with a superhero team called the Elite, led by Manchester Black, who have gained a reputation because they kill their supervillains. The comic apparently did fairly well and is well received, and is considered one of the better Superman stories. And in 2012, that story was turned into a 70-minute animated movie, Superman vs. the Elite. Our film opens with what looks like just another day in Metropolis until the Atomic Skull shows up and starts killing people, leading to a quick, simple battle with Superman. Jeez, this city just gets ripped apart. You know, I think the only thing more expensive than health insurance in Gotham is renter's insurance in Metropolis.
So was this Justice Superman? Helpless bystanders killed by a repeat metahuman felon. You had the power to end Atomic Skull's criminal career right there, permanently. Why didn't you?
It's the classic question of superheroes. How many times can a villain get away with something like this before it falls on the hero's responsibility to just put him down? Personally, I don't think it's ever the superhero's responsibility to put him down, but we'll come back to that.
Let me reiterate that I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm a huge fan.
Unfortunately, however, there is also a secondary plot in this movie about two warring nations, and they are in the middle of a skirmish. So Superman flies off to stop it, where it turns out one side has got giant biomechanical bugs. Or more, a giant mechanical bug that separates into multiple biomechanical bugs. Do you even need a standing army when you've got something like that? And it's here in this war zone that Superman finally gets to meet the Elite, who are extremely powerful and quite helpful, though, as we'll see here, not very concerned with collateral damage.
Sure know how to make an entrance. Thanks for the assist. Next time, double check for collateral damage. Came a little close there. Hello.
You're really tall.
You know, to be fair, if Superman was a real person and I actually met him, I'd probably say something equally stupid. So after that bit of embarrassment, the team disappears, and Clark and Lois take it on themselves to head to London and dig up some information. Oh yeah, sidebar, because they don't really have any other place to talk about it in this review. I love the dynamic between Lois and Clark in this movie. They just have a fantastic dynamic. This genuine intimacy and trust in each other, coupled with this desire to still kind of be professional rivals when it comes to their journalism. It's really engaging and just really sweet to watch them not only cuddle and share their fears, but also to just push each other and tease each other and taunt each other a little bit at work.
It's a given that I am getting the scoop on these newbies, right?
Not unless you can type 5,000 words a minute.
Also, Lois is wonderfully snarky.
Hope you like cold showers, Smallville. Checked in with some friends at the London Mirror while you were making kissy faces with Lady Furby. Forget it, I got the message loud and clear. Double O useless.
Their message was downloaded through a post-dimensional probability channel.
I think my phone has an app for that.
Okay, back on point. Superman eventually gets to meet the Elite properly. Their leader, the telepath Manchester Black, Cold Cast, who absorbs and redirects energy, Hat, the drunken mystic who summons alien monsters from his hat, and the lady who has a ton of cybernetic lizard things living inside her named Menagerie.
But you can call me Pam. At this number, anytime.
Down, girl.
The Elite are actually a very likable crew. They have a nice dynamic and you can sympathize with them. Superman seems to engage with them too, and then we get a scene where they all work together to stop a group of terrorists who are also part of that civil war. But when they catch these terrorists, it's revealed that Manchester may have some impulse control problems.
Bastards!
Manchester!
Who put you up to this?
Easy, Manchester.
Not chatty? Fine.
You're killing her! Stop!
And this moment is where the divide between Superman and the Elite is 100% cemented. Because from here on, the Elite only grow more ballsy and abrasive in how they handle situations. And what's really off-putting for Superman isn't so much that they do it, but how readily and quickly everyone around him seems to side with them.
I mean, some people think terrorists should get what they deserve, as slowly and painfully as possible.
Is that what you believe?
Some days, yeah.
Later on, when the Elite show up back in the middle of that civil war, Superman goes to try and stop them, gets caught in a shockwave, and then gets to watch as they brutally slaughter the soldiers. And while for Superman, the problem here is how they killed all these soldiers, my real problem with this isn't so much that, although that is a debatable and morally gray area, but rather the big frickin' victory lap they keep taking whenever they kill somebody.
So now we're wiping the Earth free of scum, and they love us for it.
You see, I've always felt one of the most important things a hero can have is a certain level of humility. Like, they want to help against the big things that people can't take care of themselves, but at the same time they also acknowledge there are certain things that it's just not their place to deal in. Even Batman, with his massive ego, has things he doesn't stick his head in. And I think that's important. I'm just saying, I think the difference between humility and ego is the primary difference between becoming this versus becoming this. But the Elite aren't done yet because Atomic Skull got loose. And how did he get loose? Well, rather than putting him in a place that would subdue his powers or, sentencing him to execution for the God only knows how many brutal murders, someone thought it would be a good idea to plug him into a generator and try to use him to power the city, which backfires, overloads, supercharges him, and then lets him loose again. I mean, Lex Luthor's built, couple of 100 weapons in his life trying to kill Superman? Any one of them probably would have worked on Skull, but nah. Rather than getting rid of this lunatic, let's see if we can save some money on our electric bill. I want it to be clear. What happens in this fight is in no way Superman's fault. See, Superman and the Elite team up, and they do manage to take down Skull and leave him helpless, but not before he manages to kill a few more people, including that UN professor who was actually Superman's biggest supporter, leaving his son to demand vengeance.
It's your fault! You beat him already!
No kid, this is your fault, because when you heard that a psychopathic murderous supervillain was fighting a team of superheroes who have proven they don't care about collateral damage, you thought it was a good idea to run out and watch the fight up close. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, why are there so many people here watching the fight? Atomic Skull can incinerate you from over a mile away!
I don't think that I make them feel safe anymore. The way I do
I disagree, Clark. Clearly you make them feel too safe because no one in Metropolis seems to take the supervillain metahumans all that seriously anymore.
Just think what a service you're providing, having all your energy sucked into the city's electronic grid.
Just so many stupid people in Metropolis, I swear it. Moving on. But yeah, after the Atomic Skull, the public has thrown pretty heavily in with the Elite. Which is a problem because this leads the Elite to really overstepping the line when they decide to solve that civil war by executing both sides' leaders and cabinet members.
The only logical thing to do was to slot the whole Megillah and start over. So congratulations, children. Your leaders are all dead. Peace reigns supreme.
Okay, Manchester, this doesn't actually fix anything. I mean, someone else is just going to take their place who already shares their views. This isn't going to sidestep the tensions or help fix the problem. Maybe you shouldn't be taking a bow just yet. It would appear that Superman also agrees there are some problems with this plan because this is where he hits his limit.
In a week, people will forget these countries ever existed. But they'll never forget the day Superman declared war on their favorite son.
Okay, you guys have been around a few weeks, Manchester. I think favorite son might be overselling it a little bit. So, because Superman sucker punched him, Manchester has now decided that the Elite will beat Superman to death in front of the entire world. If the Elite hadn't crossed the villainous horizon yet, they certainly have now. And here's where I kind of have to do something shady and not talk about the film anymore, because I don't want to spoil how this ends. I can't tell you how Superman won, because of course he wins, it's a Superman movie. Only to say, the fight is epic. Seriously, the Elite come at him with everything they have. Coldcast is hitting him with the force of 1,000 exploding suns. Manchester is firing giant psychic Kamehameha blasts through the streets of Metropolis. Cars are flying, people are screaming. No, you need to see this for yourselves. But it is an awesome fight. And while Superman's plan on how he defeats the Elite without killing anyone could be debatable, I think it's a great plan, and actually very solid explanation of why Superman doesn't kill. See, the whole point of Superman vs. the Elite and the original comic Truth, Justice, and the American Way is that it was a response to those darker, grittier, anti-hero characters that became so popular in the late 90s. It was a, why are they inherently better? What makes them so superior? Why is it a bad thing that superheroes value human life? They're supposed to be superheroes. They're supposed to embody the best of people, not fall into base desires. Yeah, executing the bad guy is a perfectly valid thing to want. If he kills my loved one and I'm holding them in my arms, I'm not going to say that I would be any more sympathetic than the kid was. But that's because I'm not a superhero. And more to the point, while it's a perfectly valid thing to want, that doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. And heroes are about doing what's right. And it's not like it's the superhero's job to execute final judgment anyway. I mean, there is a justice system. What's so hard about them just doing this?
That means I win. I go to jail, escape, kill people, go to jail. Rinse and repeat.
Yes, it's an endless cycle, but I've sworn to let the courts do their work.
And due to the persuasive testimony of the Batman, thank you, Batman, the court has decided upon the death penalty. Here we go.
And that's what Superman vs. the Elite is all about. What it is to be a hero. Look, I'm not gonna say Superman is my favorite superhero, because he's not, by a long shot. My favorite heroes in order are Spider-Man, Wonder Woman, Batgirl, Nightwing. That said, Superman vs. the Elite might be one of my favorite superhero movies, as it's probably the best element of just taking that core concept of a person actively trying to do right by the world with a strong moral compass, all encased down into a lovely 70 minutes. That's why it's my favorite DC animated movie, why it's one of my top animated superhero movies, and why it might be the best example of what a superhero is supposed to be, at least idealistically. If you want to see it, DVDs are probably not going to be in every store. This is one of the older DC animated movies, but it's around and there's always digital. I highly recommend it just for the final fight, even if you don't like Superman. Admittedly, this can get a little preachy in places, but you know, it's Superman. That's kind of just goes with the territory. It's still totally worth your time. So, thank you guys for watching. If you liked, leave a comment, share, subscribe, and be sure to check back because I'll have some new videos up for you soon. I'm D, this has been 24 Frames, and thanks for watching, Toontown.